الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده تعالى ونشكره ونستعين به ونسترشده ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقائدنا ومرشدنا وحجتنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله وطاعته، وأحثكم على التمسك بهدي قرآنه وسنة نبيه. فقد قال الله جل من قائل: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام، إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. My dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower all of us with His bounties, His blessings, and make this month a month of acceptance, a month where all of us, inshallah, will be able to benefit from all of its bounties, all the mercy, all the favors that are in store for us. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Today is a special day. It's a special day in a special month, in a special place. Everything in the air is so special. And because of that, we need to reap the most benefit of our coming as a community, because now we know how difficult it is, how threatened it is for us to come together as we used to in the past. But we have dua, and this is the month of dua. This is the month wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put an ayah in the middle of the ayat of fasting, starting with ayah number 183 of Surah Al-Baqarah, and then going on to ayah 187, right in the middle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His infinite love, with His mercy, is addressing us through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي. Look at this. Look at how this implication is found in this ayah. If my servants ask you concerning me, then tell them I am nearby. I answer the supplication of her or him who supplicate me. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. Look at this. Who doesn't have a special dua, a special need? Who doesn't want something special from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And Allah is telling us, this time I will make a special bonus wherein your dua, provided that it is in the right direction, I will give it to you as a bonus. So don't miss it. This is a month of barakah. It is so special, wallahi. It is so special. And I want to start in the middle of a lengthy hadith that I mentioned many times, but every time I mentioned it, I started at the beginning. But this time I want to start at the in the middle. You know the hadith that is reported by At-Tirmidhi, wherein the young man, Mu'adh ibn Jabal, wanted to ask a question of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and asks him a simple question. Ya Rasulullah, dullani ala amalin yudkhiluni al-jannah wa yubaiduni min al-nar. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he asked them, guide me to something wherein if I do it, I will enter Jannah. Very simple. And it will take me away from the hellfire. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him the answer. But then as he was about to leave, he heard his answer. As he was about to leave, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, sit down, Ya Mu'adh. I want to ask you myself, would you like me to guide you to the gateways of goodness? أَلَا أَدُلُّكَ عَلَىٰ أَبْوَابِ الْخَيْرِ. Imagine, you got your answer and now you're about to leave, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself is saying, would you like me to guide you to the gateways of goodness? What would you say? He said, Bala ya Rasulullah, please. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started by telling him the following, please. It is not only for Mu'adh, it's for the entire ummah. It's for you and me. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, number one gateway of goodness, as-siyamu junnah. Fasting is a shield. Fasting is a shield between you and evil, abominations, detestable acts, anything which is not good for you. Fasting will help to put a shield between you and that thing. Number two, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, was-sadaqah. Look at this. Was-sadaqah تطفئ الخطيئة كما يطفئ الماء النار. He said that charity put off sinful acts the same as water puts off fire. You know that Ramadan is the month wherein Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us to condense all our acts of goodness. It is the month that reminds us there are much, much more hungry people than people who are satisfied. We remember that there are people who are fasting under conditions. If I say much worse than us, I will be exaggerating for our sake. Under conditions that we may tend to even make a dua and say, Ya Allah, don't make us like them. That's how difficult they are living. There are people who would break their fast by looking for anything they find on the street. So number one, we remember what hunger is all about, what thirst is all about, what conditions people are living in, and we don't just sit back. We are required to reach out to them, to ask, to find out. Don't wait until someone tells you, but rather race with time, because Ramadan is very short. Ramadan runs just like that. Well, it's the 4th day of Ramadan already. And next week you will discover it's 11 days and then 1/3 is gone and life is running. We are racing. So you have to ask, who can I help? If it is even little but consistent, it's better than plenty and cut off. But give. And don't show displeasure when people say, oh, I just gave somebody, now you're coming back to me. No. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you, He will bring your way people who need your sadaqah, because you will get ajr. And you know, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that fictitious scenario that after we die and we go on the other side of the fence, when we are in al-barzakh, if there is one thing that we wish that we will go back to life and do more of, it is sadaqah. It is sadaqah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward those who find the benefit of sadaqah. Because wallahi, you never know that you may get a dua without you knowing who is making that dua for you. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, number 3 gateway of goodness, وَصَلَاةُ الرَّجُلِ فِي جَوْفِ اللَّيْلِ. This is another gateway of goodness. You know, Salat al-Qiyam is something that Ramadan brings our way to train us, to taste how beautiful it is to get up from your bed when most people are not required. It's not a fard. But you find that because of that love between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you get up, you make wudu, and you pray as much as you want. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam quoted from Surah Al-Sajdah, تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ, that there are people whose sides have a problem staying comfortable in sleep. They don't like to sleep. They want to get up and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا. They supplicate their Lord out of fear that they may lose His approval, His love, and out of desire to get His bounties. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ. Allah gives you rizq, and then you spend from that rizq. He gives you more, and then you spend more. And Allah, the more you give, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you. Wallahi, this is, in the month of Ramadan, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was describing Ramadan, he said about it, وَفِيهِ يُزَادُ رِزْقُ الْمُؤْمِنِ, that in this month, the sustenance of the believer is multiplied. And he's not talking about money only, because the rizq is not only money. Maybe during this month, the illness you've been suffering will start to improve. Maybe during this month, the reconciliation with members of your family will start. Maybe so many things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will affect during the month of Ramadan. And then Mu'adh got a handful, the 3 gateways of goodness. He was about to leave and said, Mu'adh, come back, sit down. I want to ask you if you would like me to tell you, ألا أدلك على رأس الأمر وعموده وذروة سنامه. So would you like me to tell you about the climax of all matters and the central pillar of everything and the highest point in the hump of everything? So he is pointing the climax, the central thing, the highest point in the hump. That's what sinam is. Because the sinam is that hump of the camel. He said, Bala ya Rasulullah, I would love to. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went on to say that Ra'sul Amr al-Islam wa amuduhu al-Salat وَذِرْوَةُ سِنَامِهِ الْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. He said that the climax of everything is Islam. And he didn't mean the religion of Islam only. He meant total submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to live your life in total submission. Whatever happens to you, say, أَسْلَمْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّهِ. That this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever comes from Him, I submit. This is submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And وَعَمُودُهُ الصَّلَاةِ. That the central pillar of our deen is salat. You know what? There are people right now, because of valid reasons, they are not fasting. And it's fine. It's fine because they will give a kafara. They will give an expiation, a ransom. Because of some shari'a reasons, they are ill, they are, traveling, whatever the case may be. There are people who cannot give sadaqah even. They are recipients of sadaqah. And there are people who would love to go for Hajj and Umrah, but they don't have the financial ability nor the health that will allow them to go. And they are exempt. But Salat, there's no exemption. There's no exemption. If you cannot even move any part of your body, you pray with your eyes. Salat. Imam Abu Hanifa even went as far as saying that a woman who is in labor, ask a woman who is in labor about her ability to concentrate. But that is only with Abu Hanifa. He said she has to pray. She has to think about salat in her mind, because that will help her to ease the pangs of her labor. But you cannot stop. So I say to all my brothers and sisters and children, I tell them, if you are during this month reconciling with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. Look at this love. Allah wants us to come back to Him. To come back. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. So that they would come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us 5 chances every day. And 1 chance every week. And He gives us also 3 extra chances in the month, and then on Monday and Thursday, and His gateways are open and say, come back, come back. So in Ramadan, don't waste the chance. Don't waste the chance. And then look at this. Again, Mu'adh was about to leave, and Rasulullah calls him back. And he asks him, ألا أدلك على ملاك ذلك كله. You know, I told you about the gateways of goodness. I told you about the Raqs al-Amr. I told you about Dhirwat Salami. I told you about the Amud. I told you about everything. Now, would you like me to tell you about the fence that surrounds all of these things? The most important that surrounds them. ألا أدلك على ملاك ذلك كله. That is the subject of another khutbah. But I will not leave you in suspense. Because Rasulullah mentioned that the thing that surrounds Tawheed, that surrounds Ibadat, that surrounds Siyam, that surrounds Sadaqah, that surrounds everything. The thing that people leave wide open, they don't pay attention to it, unfortunately. But Ramadan said, please maintain it. Look after it. Make sure that it is intact. It's the fence. It's the fence. ألا أدلك على ملاك ذلك كله قال بلى يا رسول الله قال كف عليك هذا. Make sure you watch your tongue. Make sure that you don't say anything that will make you suffer in the hereafter. And then Mu'adh, the young man, said, أَوَ مُؤَاخَذُونَ نَحْنُ عَلَى مَا نَقُولُ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. Are we held responsible for what we just said? We just, we say it and it's out. Are we held responsible for that which we say? And then Rasulullah looked at Mu'adh and he said, وَيْحَكَ يَا مُعَاذ أَلَا تَعْلَمْ أَنَّ ما يكب الناس على جباههم أو قيل على وجوههم في نار جهنم إلا حصائد ألسنتهم. Don't you know that the thing that will drag people on their faces in the hellfire are the things that come out of their tongues? So this is, inshallah, I will try next week or the week after, but we will talk about that because this is something we need to understand. Ramadan is the month wherein if your nafs tempts you to say something about somebody or something, just Allahumma inni sa'i. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. من دعاء الله سبحانه وتعالى يكسب ودعاء آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan has the opportunity to get all our acts together before we continue traveling through Ramadan and discover at the end we missed our target. Let us right at the beginning now examine our GPS. Let us make sure that we go back to the Huda, to the Bayyinatin min al-Huda wal-Furqan. What's that? It's the Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. Huda is mentioned twice in the same ayah. Quran is your GPS. In our olden days, we used to use something called triptych. Whenever we are going on a long journey, we used to get, a stack of attached papers from CAA or whatever, and then we'll open and then go from here to... Now, you just a button and it will guide you. You will cruise. So cruising through Ramadan towards Jannah requires Quran. And don't say, I don't know how to read Quran. Now, wallahi, as if for the last 2 years, this stay-at-home order is telling us, you know, Allah musabbib al-asbab. Allah makes things happen. Allah brought you home. So use part of the day. I'm not saying the entire day sit and no, to learn Quran. Learn a quarter of a page every day. Read with the barakah of your intention, your niyyah to learn the Quran. Allah will help you. And there are programs, softwares. You can access them. They will teach you how to pronounce properly. Please go to the Quran. Let your children learn Quran with you. Let the family enjoy Ramadan. You know, don't let the fact that we are unable to come to the masajid dampen our. On the contrary, I heard some people say that, you know, my spirituality last year and this year is much higher because we are focusing on the fard and we are praying Taraweeh at home, we are reading Quran. Don't miss that opportunity. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وخطايانا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم علمنا من ديننا ما جهلنا وذكرنا منه ما نسينا وكن معنا ولا تكن علينا. اللهم أعنا على صيام شهر رمضان. اللهم أعنا على قيام ليالي رمضان. اللهم تقبله منا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارفع الوباء عن بلاد المسلمين وعن كافة أنحاء العالم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمني